Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Well, today I'm going to take a look at the new Cold War Era 1 tank destroyer, the NM-116. But before I get into that, please, if you enjoy this content, please consider hitting the subscribe button because it really does help out my channel. Alright, this TD. This tank destroyer is basically a Chaffee with a 90mm gun. With that, you know, that's essentially what it is. That's the foundation of it. So what I thought I would do is I just compare this tank directly to the Chaffee because, well, that's about the only comparable tank that we've got at Era 1 in Cold War. So the Chaffee, fully unlocked, is going to be faster and have better concealment. The Chaffee will max out at around 75 kilometers an hour, and the 116 will max out at around 61. But I think that is kind of to be expected because the Chaffee is a light tank at the end of the day. So yeah, I would expect it to be faster and have better concealment because that is what a light tank needs to do. The 116, on the other hand, has higher penetration and damage per shot. It's got 200 more hit points at 1900 in total. And it's got better view range, which again I would say is also fairly standard. Floating birds, that's all fairly standard for a tank destroyer. So, you know, the things that a tank destroyer should be, the 116 has got. The things that a Chaffee should be for a light tank, it's got. But I think at this point, and this is what I did on my stream last night, you could think that, well, it's not that much different to the Chaffee. I'll just kit it out like it's a light tank and play it like it's a light tank. That sort of works, but when I played it like that, I found that every time I died, I was being reminded that, yeah, this thing really isn't a light tank. And I'm sure there are those out there that could make it work as a light tank, because it's not that far off the Chaffee, statistics-wise. It is slower, which, you know, that could be a problem, but I'm sure there are people out there that could make it work. And if you're one of those people, then my hat goes off to you, because I couldn't make it work like that. Because for me, it's just not a light tank. So what I've done is I've removed the traction system that I had and the advanced powertrain equipment, and I've gone with a more traditional gun build and concealment build for tank destroyers. I've got the advanced concealment, gun stabilizer, and gun laying drive. I'm now better hidden with a faster aiming and more accurate gun, which again I think is exactly what you'd want from a tank destroyer. This crew is a Halloween crew, so it's brand new. I've only got 3 skills, so there's nothing really special going on there, but I'm sure that when you've got the full 9, the 116 is going to come into its own. That, you know, that's when it's really going to be something to keep your eye on if you see it in the team listings, because this is a good tank. Okay, so that's the vehicle setup, but how do we play this thing? Well, the key to staying hidden in either World War II or Cold War is knowing how the map furniture can help you to stay hidden. Oftentimes what you'll see is you'll see a player pull up to a bush and pull the trigger and they'll get spotted. And you'd think, well, I'm sat in a bush. Why am I being spotted? The key is not to sit in the bush. You have to sit behind it. When you'll if you're a player of the game, you'll know this. When you pull up behind a fallen tree or a bush or whatever, it will start. There's a point where it will render as opaque, but then as you drive closer, it will render as semi-transparent on your screen. If the bush is rendering as semi-transparent, the game doesn't consider that to be concealment for your vehicle. That's why when you sit in a bush and pull the trigger, you get spotted, because the game doesn't think you're hidden. It doesn't consider your tank to be hidden. What you need to do is pull up behind the cover and spot targets while the bush is rendering as semi-transparent. Once you've got your target spotted, pull back a little bit so that the bush renders as opaque again. You've got the red outline. You can you can pull the trigger and you'll get the damage and you won't get spotted. And just like that, you're firing from concealment. And the enemy vehicle will be none the wiser as to where you are. This mechanic works the same way throughout the entire game. And in this game, I'm not always getting it right, but I'm doing my best to use concealment to my advantage. What I'm going to do now is, I've talked about the tank, I've talked about its setup, I like this tank, it's a very good tank, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a step-by-step sort of commentary and go through my processes, the processes that I went through in my head when I was playing this. So at the moment, the game is equal, 4 on 4. I want to help that guy down the end there, but I'm aware that there is an M48 sitting in, I think he's in about A5. Yeah, I think he's in about A5, so I do not want to leave this position. I'm spotted, so I have to pull back. I'm not detected anymore, so I'm pulling back up into my cover, trying to help out my teammate down the line. But what I've done here is I've intentionally knocked the tree down in front of me so that I have some concealment. Or, eventually I'll have some concealment, but because it was rendering as semi-transparent as you saw there, it didn't hide me. But at that shot there, the tree was rendering as solid, and it did hide me. So that's an example of how the game mechanic works. It's 3 versus 3. So far, I think I've played 12 games in this, and I only have a 33% win rate. This is a good tank, but for whatever reason, I've just not been able to get the wins. So at this point in the game, I'm thinking, right, there is no way, when I'm just under 6,000 damage, I am not going to lose this game. I think I've had 3 or 4 defeats before this one, and I'm just fed up of losing. I'm not going to lose this game. That's my thought process. So, I know there's a tank in the middle. This is where it's a little bit of cat and mouse. Do I sit and wait, or do I make the decision to relocate, move, try and spot my own targets? Because right there, my teammate is right next to me. So that's a sensible play, I think. He's we're stronger in numbers. The more numbers you've got, the stronger you are. So I know there's an M48 in the middle. I'm sitting behind cover, waiting for him, and there's only so much waiting you can do in a game like this before you start thinking, right, I need to do something, because, well, I'm going to get bored otherwise. So here we go. I push up because I want to spot the target that's in the middle, and I know the M48 is in K5. So sitting up where my teammate is at the moment, I'm not going to see the guy that's in K5, and I'm not seeing the guy that's in the middle. So push up the 1 line to try and spot the M48 that's by the spawn, and if the M48 in the middle is still looking southwards, I can get shots in his rear. Initially, pushing up to that bush didn't work out, nothing there, so I decided to push even further round, but keeping in mind not to push too close to the edge of this sort of little village area. Drive through people's gardens rather than the track that's just up to my right at the moment, because I want to remain hidden for as long as possible, because this is true vision. I don't need to be spotted to be seen, or I don't need to be spotted by the in-game spotting mechanic to be seen. So I'm looking to the middle to try and find the M48 from the middle, and this is where I make a slight error. I don't have the right concealment, and that shot gets me spotted. Fortunately, my team, well, I say fortunately, not so fortunately for him, as you'll see shortly. But as I pull up here, there is solid cover between me and the M48, so my shots are not getting me detected. He's a one shot, my teammate's just gone down, I get the kill, it's now 1-on-1, and I know that guy is still in the middle. I allowed I was detected by Sixth Sense there. My light bulb was on. So what I did was I stayed sort of stationary in the same location, so that I don't give my I don't give away my direction of travel when I'm relocating. Pulling up to this bush again just to check, just to be sure, just to see if he's coming across, because I don't want to get caught in this valley coming down the one line. I don't want to get caught here as I'm coming along. I don't want to get caught out by him being hull down at the end, so I want to make sure he's not cutting across. I've put gold in because at this point, again, I do not want to lose this game. All my shots need to pen. If I pull the trigger, it needs to go through. It needs to do damage. And with that in mind, I also clocked that he wasn't full health. At this point, I think he's 2 or 3 shots to kill. So I've got my brave pants on at the moment. Gold is loaded, so I'm feeling that little bit extra brave. Flying down the middle here because I'm thinking I can outmaneuver him, outplay him, you know, element of surprise and all that. And that's when he shows up at the place that I didn't want to get caught out earlier when I was coming down the one line. Careful now, because I know there's no concealment. So if I pull the trigger, I'm probably going to get spotted. But it turns out I didn't. Okay, all right. His detection must not be as good as I thought. All right, so he's behind cover. I'm still sitting in the middle. He doesn't know where I am, but he knows he's being spotted. So he knows I'm about, and you can kind of tell when someone knows they're spotted. You can sort of see the wheels in their head turning. Not taking that shot because the cover isn't right. Now I can't see him, so I didn't take the shot. Again, he's moving, and the confidence for these taking shots there, the confidence just wasn't there. But I do remember here thinking, oh geez, he's got the patch kit. He's got the patch kit. He's getting his health back. What am I going to do? So, solid cover between me and him. I'm not detected, which is fantastic. He's still going, flying through the buildings. Right, now's the kill shot. So, naturally, when a tank is a kill shot, I'll bounce or miss. So that shot was a miss, and because of wargaming being wargaming, shot bounces because it's the kill shot. That's just how the game works. But fortunately, I've got the time, I've got the reload. He stopped for whatever reason, I don't know why. But there we go. There's the win, and that is that's a proud win for me because I had lost so much before that, and I get MVP with Warwolf as my commander, and that's a pretty badass commander. 5 kills, just under 7,000 damage. I believe if I skip to the next screen, I believe this was actually over 7,000 combined. So for Era 1, we have the Chaffee Tank Destroyer, the NM-116. I like this tank, and I know Slapperfish is also very fond of this tank because it's a Chaffee. So there you have it. That is my overview of the 116, the NM-116, and that's also my thoughts on how to play it, how to play with concealment, how to play a tank destroyer. And yeah, if you're into Cold War, this is a good premium to get because it earns good silver. And it's Era 1, so if you don't want to be battered by Era 2 or Era 3, this is a relatively easy place to start. So, thanks for watching everybody. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. I hope you're all still keeping safe, and I'll see you out there.